Hey guys, Silver Bullet Ballistics here, and today we are going to be cleaning and taking apart a Remington 710 bolt. Stay tuned. Alright, now that we got the intro out of the way, what you want to do is go ahead and release the magazine. Make sure that this is empty. Open up the bolt. Also make sure in there is empty. There is a lever down here. What you want to do is flip that up and the bolt will just slide on out. So now I'm going to be flipping this camera around and moving the rifle out of the way, and we can focus on the bolt. Alright, so I have my gloves on, which means it's cleaning time. In order to take this apart, it is recommended by Remington to put a patch on the back of the bolt head and get pliers and pull this part up and twist the whole bolt head. Once you are able to freely swivel it, go ahead and pull that bolt out. So this is as far as you can take the bolt down. With the housing though, what you want to keep in mind is the ejector, which is this little guy right here. That is on the opposite side of the handle. So once you remember that, there is a pin, and you want to push that pin out. Now I do have a punch. And that'll just slide off. You don't want a whole lot of lubricant around the bolt for bolt action rifles. It's mostly there to protect it. If there's a whole lot of lubricant or grease or oils around the bolt, it will cause misfires and slips, so just keep that in mind. In today's video, I am using some of this break-free mil-spec CLP. It cleans it, lubricants, and preserves it. So, figured we'll give this a try. I will try my best to find a website for this, and if you're interested, I will put a link in the description. So what we want to do is spray this down. I do have a trash can beside me, so I'm going to pull this away off screen real quick and spray this thing down and let it sit for a minute. Okay, so I just sprayed this down and it's been sitting for a minute, and I can already see there's some grease up by the bolt head that is kind of washing away. So far, this is a really good cleaner. And we are just going to be wiping it down. There is this little cubby space underneath. Don't forget to get inside of that. And now what I'm going to be doing is poking through the edges of the bolt head, trying to get up some of that extra cleaner. the bolt is all cleaned up. I do have a little bit of white lithium grease to kind of replace that grease around here. I'm going to not apply any to the bolt or the spring. It needs to be up as close as to this bolt head as possible. I put a little much on there, so I'm going to wipe a little bit off. Okay, I got it all cleaned up. We can work on this piece. This is the end of the bolt. The casing will sit on the end. The casing will sit on the very end, and the bolt will come through and puncture the casing, which makes it shoot. So same thing, I'm going to spray this down with that CLP, and we will be right back. So this has been sitting for a minute, and we can go ahead and wipe it down. You want to make sure you pay close attention to the inside of the lip and around the ejector. Make sure there is nothing blocking it. That way everything is smooth. So again, the bolt will sit in this piece, and here is the tip of the bolt. So it'll be sitting just like this inside of that bolt housing. Now we are on to the bolt housing part. So the bolt housing part, you want to make sure that inside is clean. You can run this in both ways, and I did already spray this down. Okay, so just after a few passes, should be good. You don't need to do anything crazy in there. Just want to make sure that it is clean. So after I put a brush down in there, I also put a mop down there. Make sure I get all of that lubrication off. And now we can just wipe down the outside. I'll give it one more go around with a dry patch. And we are good to go. And all we have to do is wipe down this little pin. Now, if you are familiar with AR-15s, this is almost the same thing, except for it doesn't have the plate up on top. So let's start putting it back together. First, what you want to do is get the housing and this part and line it up so that way the ejector is facing the opposite way of the handle, and it will look like that when everything's all lined up. So this hole in the pin, the firing pin will run straight through that. So you want to make sure that this is clear. The other end of the bolt housing has notches. What you want to do is kind of slide it till you feel it drop in. And then what you want to do is kind of reverse from what you did to take this out. Put a patch up on top to protect this bolt head. Grab some pliers and pull on this piece. Once you do that, all you need to do is spin and drop it in this notch right here. And now everything is locked in place. I can't pull it out. So that is a video on how to clean a Remington 710 bolt. Thank you guys for watching Silver Bullet Ballistics. If you like this video, please leave a like. Also, make sure you are subscribed.